Paul Flannery is joining us now, the COO of the International Yacht Brokers Association. So I just first want to get your overall thoughts on the show, what we've seen this week.
Kevin, thanks for having me here. The show this week, we're really pleased to have it back. We had a hiatus last year due to some unforeseen circumstances. It's a very, very important show for the industry. It's very important for our associations. It's really the greatest show on earth in the boating industry, and it's the biggest thing that happens in South Florida. Fort Lauderdale's an important show, Palm Beach is an important show, but there's nothing that compares with Miami. To have the show back is incredibly important. To have the show combined with the two associations' ownership of the shows as one presentation for a seamless consumer experience is really the best thing that we could ever have hoped for.
It was already big. Now it's bigger. In fact, it's the biggest. What did combining the shows do for this event?
Well, what combining the shows did for the event is really improved and enhanced the consumer experience. The thing that's most important is that the consumer has an enjoyable, seamless experience, and they get to do everything that they want to do. A boat show offers them the opportunity to buy a pair of shoes, to buy a belt, or buy a mega yacht. And interestingly enough, the guy who buys the mega yacht needs a belt and shoes, and the guy, well, not all the guys that need belts and shoes need mega yachts. True. But there's an amazing amount of crossover between what would appear to be varying sectors of the industry. And to have all of that in one place with excellent, well, it's not actually in one place, it's in two places, one in-water display and one here in the Miami Beach Convention Center, the reimagined Miami Beach Convention Center, with excellent transportation between the two and easy access for both, it makes for a really great experience for the consumers.
The pandemic has impacted everyone in some way. What's been the impact on the boating industry? How have they been able to navigate it?
Exactly the opposite of what we had feared. When the pandemic hit, we as an industry expected that we were going to see another 2009 sort of a downturn. We joke that we choose not to participate in downturns in the economy or pandemics, but the reality of it is it affects all of us. What was most interesting for us as an industry is that we collectively took a gasp when the pandemic was announced and thought, that's it, we might as well all go home because we're done for a while. And as it turned out, 3 weeks later, we hit with a vengeance. And our industry has soared as a result because people have come to understand that there's a wonderful way to, quote unquote, isolate, but experience nature and gain experiences that are unavailable anywhere else in any other venue with your family. You create long-lasting and enduring memories that are the most special you can create on a boat with your family and your friends. And people have come to understand that. So it's provided that outlet that people wanted. They couldn't travel internationally or even domestically. There were a lot of things that they couldn't do, but they could go boating. And it's really opened up a whole wide world to many, many, many people.
What are you hearing from people that are visiting the show about the footprint and 6 different locations, but some of them are pretty close to each other? What's the consumer saying about the new boat show with multiple organizations involved?
The consumer seems to be pleased. Yeah. Transportation to and from the show is quite simple, with locations right next to the interstate highways, easily accessible from the international airport, and we have a product here called the Brightline, which is our train service here in South Florida, and the Brightline station is very close to the in-water displays. When you reach the in-water display, there is easy shuttle service to and from the convention center and vice versa. If you choose to come by ground transportation to the convention center, there's very easy access to and from the in-water venues. So the consumer experience has been very, very good, reportedly, so far. I speak more to the vendors than the consumers, and they're effervescent. They're really happy about the combined effort of the show, the traction that we're getting, the interest from the consumer, and everybody seems to be pleased.
Paul, thank you. I'm enjoying it already. Can't wait till next year.
Kevin, thanks so much for having me.